Think you know the whole story? Turns out you were probably taught the half-truth. Welcome to Half-Truths. Close your eyes for a second and picture your morning. Maybe it involves the shriek of an alarm clock, the frantic search for matching socks, and the ritualistic brewing of coffee. And for millions of us, it also involves a stop at the kitchen counter or the medicine cabinet. You open a bottle. Maybe it's a multivitamin, maybe a B-complex, or a vibrant orange tablet of vitamin C. You pop it in your mouth, swallow it down with some water, and feel a small sense of accomplishment, a little bit of nutritional insurance to start your day. You're taking care of yourself. You're giving your body what it needs to perform. After all, the label says it all, right? Supports energy metabolism, promotes vitality, helps convert food into fuel. We've seen the ads for decades. A tired black and white figure suddenly bursts into vibrant color after taking their daily supplement. The message is simple, direct, and incredibly powerful. Vitamins give you energy. Feeling sluggish? Take a vitamin. Need a boost for that 3 o'clock slump? Take a vitamin. It's a fact we've absorbed through cultural osmosis, a piece of common wisdom as settled as drink 8 glasses of water a day or an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's the story of a quick fix, of a tiny pill that holds the secret to unlocking your body's potential. It's the promise of vigor in a bottle. But here on Half-Truths, we have a habit of looking a little closer at those promises. We like to pick up the bottle, turn it around, and read the fine print. And when you do that with the idea of vitamins as an energy source, you find something strange, a little detail that doesn't quite add up. So what if that entire story, the one about vitamins being a direct source of energy, isn't the whole story? What if the energy isn't in the vitamin at all? Today, we're unlearning the half-truth that vitamins are your body's batteries and discovering what they really are, the mechanics who keep the engine running. Let's start with the story we all know and, frankly, love. It's a story of modern science to the rescue. In our fast-paced world, who has time to get a perfectly balanced diet every single day? We're overworked, overstressed, and underslept. We feel drained, and then we walk down the aisle of a pharmacy and see a wall of brightly colored bottles, each one promising a solution. The vitamin B12 promises energy support. The B-complex is a stress formula. The multivitamin is our all-in-one shield against the fatigue of modern life. This narrative is incredibly compelling because it's so simple. It frames the human body like a car. Food is the gasoline, but vitamins are the high-octane fuel additives. They're the secret sauce, the performance enhancers that make the engine run cleaner, faster, and more efficiently. We imagine these little vitamin molecules coursing through our veins like a jolt of electricity, waking up tired cells and powering our muscles and brains. When we're tired, it's because our vitamin tank is low. When we take a supplement, we're just topping it off. This idea is reinforced everywhere. Breakfast cereals are fortified with 12 essential vitamins and minerals to help you start your day. Energy drinks scream about their payload of B vitamins, implying that's where the kick comes from, not the massive dose of caffeine and sugar they're swimming in. The logic seems sound, doesn't it? We know vitamins are crucial for health. We know that when we lack certain vitamins, we can get sick and feel terrible. So it stands to reason that taking more of them, or at least ensuring we have enough, will make us feel great, energetic, vibrant, and alive. It's a clean, satisfying cause and effect story, and it sells billions of dollars in supplements every year. The story works because it offers control, a simple action in response to the complex and often frustrating feeling of being tired. It's a modern-day potion for vitality. But like all the best half-truths, this story starts to fray the moment you pull on a single, simple thread. And that thread is a question. What is energy? Not in a metaphysical, spiritual sense, but in a cold, hard, biological sense. What is the stuff that actually powers our bodies? The answer is one you learned in high school biology. The energy that fuels every single one of your cells, from firing a neuron in your brain to contracting a muscle in your leg, comes from a molecule called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Our bodies manufacture ATP by breaking down the food we eat, specifically by breaking down the three macronutrients: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. These are the logs on the fire. They contain the potential energy, which is measured in a unit we're all familiar with, the calorie. A calorie is literally a measure of heat, a unit of energy. To power your body, you must consume things that contain calories. A banana has calories. A piece of chicken has calories. A slice of bread has calories. They are your body's fuel. So here's where we pull the thread. Pick up that bottle of multivitamins again. Turn it over and look at the nutrition facts panel. Scan down the list of ingredients: vitamin A, vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin. Then look for the one crucial number: calories. How many are there? You'll almost always see the same number, 0. A vitamin supplement contains 0 calories. It has no carbohydrates, no fats, and no proteins. It contains no fuel. And if it contains no fuel, it cannot, by the very laws of thermodynamics, provide your body with any energy. It's like trying to run your car on air. You can have the best engine in the world, but without gasoline, you're not going anywhere. This is the record scratch moment. This is the point where the simple story we've been sold falls apart. If vitamins contain no energy, then how on earth did we come to believe they are the ultimate source of it? The answer lies in a brilliant bait-and-switch that began nearly a century ago, a masterpiece of marketing built on a kernel of scientific truth. In the early 20th century, scientists were making incredible discoveries. They found that there were mysterious substances in food beyond proteins, fats, and carbs that were absolutely vital for life. In 1912, a Polish biochemist named Casimir Funk isolated a substance that prevented a nervous system disease called beriberi. He believed it was a type of compound called N-amine, and because it was vital for life, he coined the term vitamine, a portmanteau of vital and amine. The name stuck, even after we learned that not all of them were amines, and for the next few decades, the story of vitamins was the story of deficiency. Scientists linked a lack of vitamin C to scurvy, the brutal disease that plagued sailors, a lack of vitamin D to rickets, a lack of niacin to pellagra. These were miracle compounds. A small amount could literally save your life if you were suffering from one of these deficiencies. And one of the primary symptoms of many of these deficiency diseases, you guessed it, profound fatigue and lethargy. A person with beriberi or scurvy has no energy. Give them the missing vitamin, and their energy returns. This is the kernel of truth. A lack of vitamins can cause a lack of energy. But somewhere in the mid-20th century, as nutritional science became mainstream and the supplement industry began to boom, advertisers performed a bit of linguistic jujitsu. They took that truth and flipped it on its head. The message subtly shifted from a deficiency of vitamins causes fatigue to an abundance of vitamins creates energy. It's a very different claim, but it sounds similar enough to be believable. Marketers honed in on the B vitamins in particular. Scientists had discovered that B vitamins were critical players in the complex chemical reactions that convert food into ATP. They were essential for energy metabolism, and that was the golden phrase. Advertisers could now say, with complete technical accuracy, that their supplement supports energy metabolism. And what do we, the consumers, hear when we read that? We hear gives you energy. The marketing doesn't lie, but it masterfully misleads. It allows us to connect two dots that shouldn't be connected, to assume that because a vitamin is involved in the process, it must be the source of the energy itself. It's the difference between saying a spark plug is essential for making a car go and saying a spark plug is made of gasoline. One is true, the other is not. And we've been buying the spark plug thinking it's fuel for a very long time. So if vitamins aren't fuel, what are they? If they aren't the logs on the fire, what is their actual job? The best analogy is that they are the tools. They are the microscopic wrenches, hammers, and screwdrivers that allow your body's workforce to get the job done. Let's go back to our factory analogy. Your body is a massive, incredibly complex chemical factory that runs 24/7. The raw materials coming into the factory are the macronutrients, the carbs, fats, and proteins you eat. The finished product we want is energy, in the form of that ATP molecule. The workers on the factory floor are your enzymes. Enzymes are proteins that speed up chemical reactions, taking apart the food molecules and reassembling them into ATP. But many of these enzymes can't work on their own. They need a little helper, a specific tool that fits perfectly into their hands, allowing them to do their job properly. These little helpers are called coenzymes or cofactors, and that is what most vitamins are. They are essential coenzymes. Vitamin B1 or thiamine is a crucial tool for the enzymes that break down carbohydrates. Folate, another B vitamin, is a tool for building DNA. Vitamin C is a tool for building collagen, the protein that holds your skin and tissues together. Without the right tool, the worker on the assembly line grinds to a halt. If you have a severe vitamin B1 deficiency, the cause of beriberi, your body's ability to process carbohydrates is crippled. Your factory is full of raw materials, but a key part of the assembly line is shut down. The result is a catastrophic energy crisis in your cells. You feel exhausted, weak, and sick. Now, if you give that person a vitamin B1 supplement, you're essentially handing the stalled worker the tool they were missing. The assembly line roars back to life, the raw materials start getting processed again, and energy production returns to normal. From the outside, it looks like a miracle. It looks like the vitamin itself provided a massive surge of energy. But what it actually did was simply fix a broken process. It didn't add any new energy to the system. It just unlocked the energy that was already there, trapped in the food that couldn't be processed. This is the critical distinction. For someone with a genuine deficiency, a vitamin supplement will absolutely restore normal energy levels. But what about the average person in the developed world who is not suffering from scurvy or beriberi? What happens when we take a multivitamin on top of a reasonably balanced diet? Well, imagine our factory is already running smoothly. Every worker has their tools. The assembly line is humming along. Now you dump a truckload of extra wrenches onto the factory floor. What happens? Nothing. The workers already have the wrenches they need. They're working at full capacity. The extra tools are just extra. They get swept up and, for the most part, discarded. This is precisely what happens with water-soluble vitamins. Like the B vitamins and vitamin C, your body is incredibly efficient. It takes exactly what it needs from the supplement and your food, and your kidneys filter out the rest. That excess is then excreted in your urine. This is why, if you've ever taken a potent B-complex vitamin, you may have noticed your urine turns a startling, fluorescent yellow-green. That's your body literally flushing out the expensive excess riboflavin, vitamin B2, that it had no use for. You're not supercharging your system. You're just making very colorful, very expensive pee. With fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, the story is a bit different and potentially more dangerous. These aren't easily flushed out. Instead, they are stored in your body's fat tissues and liver. Taking massive doses of these can lead to a toxic buildup, a condition called hypervitaminosis, which can cause serious health problems. So not only is more not better, it can sometimes be worse. So why do some people swear they feel a difference? Why do they feel a jolt of energy after taking their morning vitamin? A big part of the answer is one of the most powerful forces in medicine, the placebo effect. The very act of doing something you believe is good for your health, like taking a vitamin, can create a real, measurable physiological effect. The ritual itself, the belief that you are taking a step to boost your energy, can be enough to make you feel more alert and energetic. Your brain is a powerful organ, and its expectations can shape your reality. If you expect a pill to make you feel better, it often will, regardless of what's inside it. That's not to say the feeling isn't real. It absolutely is. But it's not coming from the chemical properties of the vitamin itself. The story we started with was simple: a pill full of energy. The reality is far more intricate and, I think, far more fascinating. We don't run on vitamins. We run on the energy stored in the chemical bonds of the food we eat. We run on sunlight, captured by plants and passed along the food chain to our dinner plates. The energy that is powering my voice right now, and the energy that is allowing your brain to process these words, began its journey 93 million miles away in the core of the sun. Vitamins aren't the fuel in that process. They are the sublime, microscopic machinery that evolution has crafted over millions of years to allow us to harness that cosmic energy. They are the keys that unlock the power hidden in our food. And understanding that difference is more than just a piece of trivia. It changes our whole approach to health and wellness. The myth of energy in a pill encourages us to look for a shortcut, a quick fix for fatigue. It tells us that if we're tired, we just need to add something extra, a magic bullet from a bottle. The truth tells us something different. It tells us to look at the fuel source. If you're chronically tired, the solution is very rarely found in a supplement aisle. The answer is usually found in the fundamentals: the quality of the food you eat, the amount of sleep you get, the water you drink, and the movement you give your body. The half-truth of vitamins as energy is a distraction. It's a marketing story designed to sell us a product by oversimplifying a complex and beautiful biological process. It convinces us to buy more tools when what we really need is better raw materials for our factory. In the end, we've traded a simple myth for a more complex reality. We've learned that you can't get energy from something that has no energy to give. Vitamins are not sparks of vitality, but the unglamorous essential stagehands working behind the scenes of our metabolism. They don't create the fire, they merely provide the conditions that allow it to burn. Recognizing that distinction reminds us that when it comes to our health, there are rarely any shortcuts, only a deeper understanding of the incredible engine we inhabit. The most potent energy booster isn't a pill you can swallow, but the knowledge of how your body actually works. Now you know the real story. What other half-truths are still out there? If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a comment, and join us next time. Until then, stay curious.